I am so excited to introduce you to this wonderful lady who you can see now here on the screen, Joanne Radke. She's written so many books. She's very prolific. And the book that we're going to talk about, she wrote with her friend Shirley Smith. And this book, by the way, I think you can call her Graham. This, meaning Joanne, her book that we're going to talk about is The Sanctuary. Oh my gosh. Don't you just want to fall into that book just by looking at the cover of it? You know, we're talking about really cool romance, fun read, a lot of twists and turns, just like that road leading up to the house, to the sanctuary. So Joanne, of course, it's so fun to be with you and have this conversation.
Thank you very much. I look forward to our time together.
So here in Author's Corner, you know, we talk about what was it that motivated you to become a writer in the first place? Because you've written so many books and magazine articles. What drove you in that direction?
Well, even as a kid, I loved writing, and I've written lots of poems and short stories. Well, then this book, my friend Shirley just retired, and so she was looking for something to do. So then she approached me, hey, why don't we write a book together? So, you know, it was just so fun to collaborate together and work out the plots and work out the lunches and the decorating and everything. So, yeah, it was really good.
So tell us about, and the book has friends in it, so tell us about the main plot of this book, your characters.
Well, The Sanctuary is about like a bed and breakfast. These two ladies grew up together, and in their hometown, there was this really nice house that they really liked, a Victorian type house. And so anyway, they grew up and got married. Well, Sharon got married and moved away, and Janice became a missionary, moved to Africa. And then Sharon's parents died about 20 years later. And so she had to come back to the hometown to, you know, bury them. And then Sharon, her husband, who was a firefighter, died in a fire rescuing a little boy. So she became a widow. So they joined together again and decided to buy this house and turn it into a bed and breakfast. So that's how it starts. And my friend Shirley was a decorator. She loved decorating. So there's lots of wonderful descriptions of each room that's decorated in the book. And as far as the plot goes, in the town they lived in, there was 3 murders that took place on July the 1st every year for 3 years. And so the sheriff wasn't doing it very well in trying to solve this murder, so he calls in the CIA to help. And meanwhile, Sharon and Janice's handyman had to go away on emergency, and for them to get their place ready in time for April, they need a new handyman. So they advertise, and of course, this undercover CIA guy, Jason, applies for the job and gets it. So he's working at the sanctuary and then dotting off to the sheriff to talk about the case and different things like that. And Janice especially is getting kind of suspicious. Why did I see him with the sheriff in the, Tony's eatery, And so anyway, there's a little bit of suspicion there, and, can we trust our handyman and different things like that. They have no idea he's a CIA agent. So that's part of it. And then, of course, you got a guy and a gal, and romance happens. So you got a double romance because they need a cook. And Jason just happens to have a brother, Raymond, who is a cook and wants the easier life because he's been working in 5-star restaurants since he got out of culinary school. So he comes and becomes the cook for the sanctuary. So the 2 girls fall in love with the 2 guys, and then that's where the romance comes in. And then you got all these other characters that come and visit the sanctuary mixed in it all. So it's fun, and we enjoyed writing it. Unfortunately, Shirley passed away now about 12 years ago, so she hasn't seen her creation in print, but her kids have. So that's the good thing.
Yeah, what a cool legacy for the kids to know what you did, and your relationship, how fun that you decided to write this book together. What was, and you mentioned it, lunches, etc., and her touch, what she put as far as the rooms and the decoration. So getting down to that really great nitty-gritty detail. What was that like working with each other and creating that?
Oh, it was fun. And, we had the book done, and then Shirley decided to add a dog in the mix. And her son had a dog at the time called Casey. So Casey shows up in the sanctuary, and an added fun element to the process. So it was just fun and enjoyable, and just to pick each other's brain. What should I do now? What should we do here? That kind of thing. So
when people read the book that you and Shirley put together, what do you hope they take away?
Well, an enjoyable, fun read. Also, for the mystery lovers there, the romantics, a little bit of joy there in both areas. I like a good mystery, and it's nice to have romance now and again too. So being able to put all that in there and read it and enjoy it, but it's light. It's not like it's a heavy-duty murder mystery. It's very light and fun and hopefully enjoyable for our readers.
Tell us about some of the other books that you've written, because of course, I said this at the top, you like to write and you've written a lot of things. What are you working on now?
Well, my first book was Why Is My House Always a Mess? And it was a devotional, 30-day devotional about how to clean your house. And that went over very well. Let's see.
We can find it for sure. You can get it on Amazon or anywhere great books are sold.
Yeah, so you can. I just have a caricature, Gram, the caricature Gram on it, which is quite fun. It kind of draws your eye to the book. So the first one is on decluttering and why is my house always a mess. My second book is that I'm writing is why are my finances always a mess? And so basically it's, learning how to budget, learning how to pay down your credit cards, and learning how to save for the future for your kids' education or retirement. And that's a fun one as well. So there's 30 truths or tidbits that you can take away so that you can fix your own finances. And then the third book in that sequel is Why Are My Relationships Always a Mess? And that was the book I really wanted to start with, but my friend, mentor, said, well, nobody knows who you are, so you need to start where you get a lot more people purchasing your book, and then from there, once they get to know you, then they'll read your book on relationships. So I've been a pastor in the Christian field for 45 years, and so I've ministered to a lot of people, some marriages and family dynamics, so I do have some expertise in that area of relationships. So that's the third one in the series. And then I've written kids' books. I've written Jessica the Dreamer, and it's about a little girl who you can be anything you want to be with God's help. And she's a dreamer, and you have banana boats and ice cream rivers and different things like that. It's a fun book about dreaming. And the second book in that series is Jessica's Dilemma, and that's about judging. There's a new kid that comes into the school, and they're going to put on a play, and this new kid gets the part Jessica wants, so she's mad and judges this girl. She doesn't even know her. And the turmoil that goes on in her life while she's judging this girl, and how to get rid of your offenses and judgments for kids. And then the third one is Jessica and the Giant Marshmallow. Now that's fun. Jessica goes with her friend, and they go to visit Grandpa and Grandma, who happen to live on a farm. But on the way, they see these gigantic marshmallows in the field. And Jessica wonders, why are the marshmallows in the field? Well, actually, they're bales of hay that are covered with white plastics, but they look like marshmallows. And so Jessica's talking to her grandfather about this, and he has this idea. why don't we make the biggest gigantic marshmallow square or Rice Krispie square for the whole town to eat? So then they go about going to a cereal factory and a margarine factory and building this gigantic marshmallow treat. So, and that's fun. So it's about sharing and in a fun way, because Grandpa is a fun guy. So just the shenanigans they get into, visiting Grandpa and then making these gigantic marshmallows. So that's the third one in that series. And I got a couple more in my head that I'd like to write about, Jessica, to keep the series going too.
Wow, so you definitely like to write in different genres, and you have the gift. And as you said, being a pastor and learning the things you learned there, certainly some of those stories from children to adults, I can imagine little bits and pieces that probably are wrapped in your mind and kind of make their way in the book.
Yeah. So it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. And we can get your books on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Is there any other place you would send people?
ReadersMagnet are the ones who publish them. So yeah.
Yes, so go to ReadersMagnet as well. Joanne, we could talk to you forever and ever. You are wonderful. And again, the book, The Sanctuary, is the one we started talking about. And she's got it in her hands. Ooh, I just want to walk down the front of that house and sit on the porch and talk to you. So, Joanne, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Well, you have a great day, and thanks so much for having me. I just appreciate being able to share my little story with everybody.
Well, we loved having you on Author's Corner. Again, thanks.
Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.
You too.